ready for a rehearsal on silks and aerial apparatus. And I thought, what would be a better time than to actually talk about scents, like I don't dare to say perfumes, scents that I actually wear for rehearsals and practice. I am indeed ready to go. I don't know if you realize or not, I am a little extra. And yet this is a workout gear. I know you're dying to know how exactly to train for aerials, so let me tell you. Wear anything in between here. Don't be like me, who just lost skin because I got overzealous. Yeah, the workout gear for like circus arts sometimes is ever so slightly different because, you know, there are different risks involved. Anyway, I do wear perfumes, fragrances, scents when I work out. Guilty as charged, however, you'll thank me for these recommendations.
I'm serious. Not everybody like does these super intense, sweaty, high intensity workouts. And for those, I guess if you're in and out, right? You won't, like, almost no person lasts longer than 15 minutes or an hour, and then you're drenched in sweat and you go take a shower. I guess my recommendations are more for people who have a whole kind of athletic regimen where they do a variety of things of different days, or if you like movement arts like I do. So my thing is the aerial sinks and various athletic dance, I would say, practices. So sometimes, especially if I'm working on an act, I spend 3 hours rehearsing. So you kind of take breaks, you do a warm-up, you do stretching routines, you do choreography, you work on specific elements. So I spend a long time in a kind of a training facility or in a gym, and for that I actually do prefer to have a scent on me, because first of all, gymnastic gyms, I don't know if you've ever been, I don't know how well they compare to weightlifting, but those mats, even though they clean them, they're still like, everything still has some kind of a scent, and I would rather feel close to my skill, but I would rather feel something that, you know, elevates and lightens my spirits than to feel, you know, centuries old sweat and blood of all those gymnasts and gymnast ghosts that live in those studios, in dance studios, in gyms. So I do wear scents when I work out, I guess, unless it's something like cardio, like very cardio heavy. And it really helps to even put myself in the mood, to be honest. At this point, I'm such a creature of habit that as soon as I feel any of these scents, I'm like, ready to go. Let's get it done. And this is another thing why I think people should consider wear a light. You'll see just in a second, a specific light, kind of close to the skin sitting scents, because as soon as you form a habit and a memory, that scent alone can get you the largest plateau period or drudgery of doing anything if it requires, you know, like, you're really in the mood, you don't feel well, you don't want to do it, your day is already not going as planned, you put that scent on, you're ready to go. It's nearly an automatic it's like essentially biohacking. So the first one, just to get it out of the way, because I feel a little bit awkward recommending let's say a category of scents, because the two scents that I'm going to show you, one is ridiculously expensive and only a psycho like me would wear it to the gym, and the other one you can't really find anywhere. But I just wanted to be truthful to what actually really helps me and what puts me in the right mood. And these are the lilac-y scents, the fresh, watery lilac-y scents. And the one that I have here, you can only buy in Eastern Europe. It's Brocar Romantica, I think it's called. This is the most realistic lilac, like kind of watery, lilac bushes after the fresh rain kind of scent that I've ever found. Nothing else came even close, and this was probably like $5-10 per bottle. Don't have access to it anymore. It's very sad, but I love this fresh lilac scent. It's both flirty, romantic, and it's very light. It's not offensive, it's not too floral or too fruity. Much more expensive alternative. Here is Frederic Malle, no less, and Passant. A little bit more kind of white lotus, also watery, but in a slightly more greenish way, and a little bit more soapy, I would say. And Passant is my second best when it comes to fresh lilacs. If you guys know any recommendations of what could also be part of that family, but not, let's say, less than $200-300 per bottle, let me know. But to keep things real, these are my really go-to, especially when it comes to more artistic training and rehearsals, when I need to kind of get into a character or into a mood, and I really need to push my body to evoke more than just, strength training, where you're actually you don't check out, you focus on your movement, but you know what I mean. Like when I need more creative juices and more emoting to be plugged in into my athletic regimen, that's where I go for fresh lilacs. The next one is going to be a battery. I'm curious you will notice any kind of bias here, but if it is, it's very genuine. This is going to be a battery of Kenzo scents. First one is Le Kenzo. This is a version that's marketed toward women. However, I find all of the waters, so Le Par Kenzo, La Kenzo, Aqua Kenzo, like all of these looking bottles, they are actually all unisex. You just pick your own flavor. This has it's like a double win, because any 90s babes here, please put a like. This is the smell of our youth. And for a lot of kids nowadays, it's the smell of their childhood, because that's what their parents wore when they were born. This is fresh, lemony, aquatic, very long-lasting, strong, but not piercing. I find that the kind of beast mode fragrances of now are like chemical weapons, yet the 90s perfumes and the early 2000s perfumes, they were quite projecting, and they had a lot of projection and that kind of a trail and the sillage, but they were not killing everyone alive, like every live being in the radius of 10 miles. Le Par Kenzo is just one of those perfect aquatics. I remember when I was growing up, there were three major, the girls were divided into three groups when it came to aquatics. Well, maybe four. Davidoff Cool Water. Anyone? Le Par Kenzo. Yours truly. There was Armand Bassin Red, which was more famous in some regions than others, and definitely light blue Dolce & Gabbana. I was a Kenzo girl. This was my jam. So it has the added benefit of making me feel like I'm 16 again. And it's, again, well-forgotten gem in the designer market. Kenzo fragrances you can find for quite reasonable prices online. Same, you can actually get a whole set of these from me, from my own bottles, and I'll really appreciate your support in this case. I'll leave a link below. So this is something that is still being mass produced, still there are all kinds of flankers and limited editions of being spun out. It's just not as much in the marketing world. It's not as much pushed to our eyes by Sephora's and Ultas of these days. However, still good stuff. It's totally worth reminding yourself of what aquatics were all about when they were first introduced to the market. That's the 90s. Aquatics did not exist because of the chemistry wasn't there yet. So Le Par Kenzo and Le Kenzo, mwah, love them. And I actually used up a Le Par Kenzo Per Homme marketed toward men. I actually do prefer that version more for myself, but the version that's marketed toward women is just as good. It's just a little bit more lemony and kind of white lotus-like. Both are equally unisex in my view and equally good. I am losing light rather fast. Let's keep going. Next one, a newer version of what we just talked about, and you actually can tell the difference in the formulation. This is Aqua Kenzo. I have both. I have the one that's marketed toward men, and I wear it, and the one that's marketed toward women, I wear it too. To me, these are diametrically different scents. I don't understand why do they belong to the same line, so let me explain what's what about. Aqua Kenzo, the light blue. All of Kenzo stuff, like as I said, waters are unisex. Don't you confuse yourself or worry yourself. Just pick the flavor that speaks to you. This one, let me do a reminder. I don't know why it's called Aqua, because this is essentially a raspberry lemonade. That's what it is. Well, maybe like with a few of these like signature white lotusy aquatic accord that Kenzo is known for, that made it so iconic. But I mean, in all honesty, this is a raspberry lemonade, which again, to many people, brings memories. Because in the past, girls' shampoos, I think I talked about it in some video, girls' shampoos used to be like these like fruity, fresh fruity flavors. And every time when like girls would get out of the shower, you know, like and pass boys, like a lot of men actually told me that their first association with like what is romantic about any scent is something fruity, because that's what, you know, when they were in middle school or high school, that's what girls' hair smelled when they were like fresh out of the shower. So this is kind of it. This is kind of it. Raspberry lemonade, fresh, piercing, bright. I think this would be like perfect for any kind of biking session, yoga, anything that you need to feel energized, like Zumba maybe, energized for, but you're not going to be sweating your ass off. The Aqua Kenzo Parole for men is, again, I do wear it. But I usually wear it to sound baths and more like meditative yoga sessions. Because to me, this is like as far as it gets from fresh aquatic while still being aquatic. It's like really there on the border of becoming nearly a gourmand. This is a stellar everyday men's cologne. Because it kind of, in a very interesting way, combines this soft, kind of pink pepper, cardamom-y spiciness, but again, very soft one, nothing prickly, nothing audacious or bitter. There's no black pepper here. It's all just very soft spiciness with some kind of nuttiness as well. So the sweetness here is kind of like eating dry nuts. It almost reminds me of like tobacco paper, a little, just maybe a little bit. But underneath it, you do get this typical aquatic fresh accord that so many fragrances have that are marketed toward men. But I find this is better balanced. It's not as annoying. It doesn't remind me of windshield wiper liquid that, you know, Creed Aventus and etc., like more like in your face spicy aquatics, what they are. This I love this stuff. I wear it myself, and I often actually get asked by men what I wear when I wear this, so they can get it for themselves. So I guess the marketing works, right? Like if you keep marketing the same scent profile towards a specific demographic, people start associating it with that demographic. But I have no problem wearing it myself because I like this kind of spiciness with a little bit of a fresh push beneath it, which is also rare if you think about it. Fragrances are rarely sweet and then fresh. They're usually fresh and then sweet. This is kind of the reverse. First you feel this soft, spicy, nutty sweetness, and only then you feel the freshness. I think it's super cool. The next one is something that I wear when I don't know what to wear, and I just need to get out of the door, and I just want to freshen up just a little bit. And this is Dalilight. I bought it for the bottle. There's no secret here. Look how cool it is. It's such a cool, I mean, it does look cool. And what it is in a nutshell is just fresh, lemony, slightly fruity floral, but in a very, very, it's like an echo of something fruity floral. You barely notice it. It's in a way a mixture of the fresh lilacs that I like so much and La Par Kenzo. Oh, this is La Kenzo. It's right there in between. And it's just such a comfortable, light cocoon that just elevates me, especially when I'm like dreading going to work out, when I really, really, really don't want to do it. And I'm just dragging myself to the gym, and I put that on, and it just immediately softens that edge. It just allows me to get through with it, get started at least. And the one that, again, I feel like I'm gonna get some flack for this. I do wear expensive perfumes to the gym. Did you notice? This is Serge Lutens. This is their cologne, so that's their water, so it's the light versions. And this one is called Parole Dew. It's a tale devoted to fresh spring water in the mountains. So odorless water, and yet it's a scent. I love this one. I love it for every morning workout. I just love to start my morning with this in general because this is pines and bergamot. And I always feel like I detect some incense in the waters by Serge Lutens. It's not officially there, but I sometimes I feel it. It's like the lightest mountain breeze, pines, bergamot, and a little bit of, to me, very light incense. Every time when I need to go and do something like athletic or physical early in the morning, and I'm not a morning person at all, to say the least, this is the one I take. It helps me wake up. It helps me see the light at the end of the tunnel. It just somehow helps me get out of bed. And the last one, again, I'm going to show it because I absolutely bought it for the bottle. Guess the brand. It is Kenzo. It is. It's just so freaking beautiful. And this one is actually the oldie. This was released in 90s. Yeah, 1997. The name of this is Monde, Beau. I'll leave the names and the links below so you don't have to read my mind. It's just so beautiful. Come on, it's so beautiful. Anyway, it is less aquatic to my taste and more white lotus, lemons, sort of like green, grassy, and very watery. It's just, it's not as much of a workout scent to me as it is a scent that kind of similar to vetiver scents, that kind of calms me down and brings clarity of mind. So often if I need to do something cerebral, like memorize a sequence or break down a trick into bits and pieces and really think, or like in aerials, especially if you're doing it on silks, on soft fabric, there's a lot of thinking involved which guarantees your safety. You need to memorize the wraps, you need to know how to safely wrap and not fall from 15 feet high so you don't die or break a neck at the very least. So there's a lot of thinking involved before you actually get to aesthetics or even like cool drops. I don't know why I'm giving you so much info on it, but that's kind of like my experience with the scents and any kind of athletic activity. So when I need to think, I need to wake up, think, focus, figure something out, or if something wasn't working well and I'll constantly make the same mistake and can't seem to make a correction for it, even though I understand what needs to happen, this is what I wear. Because these kind of lemony, piercing green, kind of green white lotus, like bamboo kind of thing. This freshness, it really forces me to like pay attention. Love it. And again, it looks gorgeous. It looks gorgeous on the shelf. That's that. I actually gotta run, gotta go train. I am a proponent of wearing scents when you work out, with one exception of like severe cardio related activity when you're just drenched. Because to be honest, I meet a lot of people who not only don't use any scent, they don't use deodorant. And that, my friends, is way worse. It's 1,000 times worse than wearing some kind of like water, something refreshing, or even if it's a little like raspberry lemonade. Somebody passes me by and I feel this, just a whiff of this little lemony or bergamot, piney or raspberry lemonade freshness. I don't mind it at all, as long as you don't bathe in it. Obviously, like heavy, spicy, musky gourmands, or God forbid, Baccarat Rouge or Cry de Ventos. Yeah, Beast Mode, I would rather recommend nobody wears Beast Mode fragrances to the gym. I know when you sweat, you lose the scent very quickly, and that's kind of the point. I think it's just a genius idea. Just wear something light. By the end of your workout, it's gonna be gone, and that's fine. And that's perfectly okay. But you'll have such better time, and everybody around you will have so much better time. That's just my 20 cents. I don't know. What do you think? Do you wear anything when you work out? What kind of athletic regimen do you have? Do you go for walks? Do you run? Do you go to the gym? Do you do any kind of physical arts? And yeah, like what kind of sense do you associate with these practices? Let me know. As I said, all of these you can snatch yourself a travel size so we can try it and see if we align in our perfume tastes. We'll be happy to split the bottle with you. Otherwise, thank you so much for watching. Like, subscribe if you haven't yet, and I'll see you in the next video.